right, welcome back to another episode here, everybody. Still recovering from the collarbone, so we're filming a bunch of stuff. Was hoping you guys would still have some Ivy Branch videos, but here we are. So today, as you can tell from the title, we're doing a little bit of a spring upgrade. Got some Gforce springs going on this thing. She's a 2017, so these springs are pretty wore out, pretty clapped, pretty cranked down to get the ride height. So hopefully we're going to improve that. But I did want to just hop on here and do some kind of before and after measurements. I am sitting right around, that's actually pretty good. That's 16 and a half, as you can tell. That's from there, so from the top, that's at about 3.5. But from here, I mean, that thing's set down at about 7.5. We're gonna get these springs pulled here. Lou's got some nitrogen caps for me with Schrader valves on them so they can get checked very easily. And yeah, next clip, we'll probably be heading up there, checking that shop out. Alrighty, everybody, we're up here at Far Offroad. Check them out, Far Offroad. Also, I think semi-home of Somewhat Haggard. Hanging out here with Lou and Jeremy. Got my springs put on. You guys will see that coming up right in this next clip. But with my shoulder, I couldn't get my springs switched over, and I was coming up here anyway because Lou rebuilds all these shocks. So I got the nitrogen caps with the valves. We got all those ordered and put on. But he was nice enough to help me change my springs because I messed myself up with my shoulder. So definitely check them out. If you're watching me, you've watched Somewhat Haggard, but I'll link them here. Check out their videos. If you're anywhere in north central Indiana, northern Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, check out Far Offroad. They build cages. Like I said, they rebuild shocks. They do all sorts of stuff, but we're up here hanging out. Super nice people, great quality of work. They do an awesome job. So we're coming back now. We'll be putting them on the car and we'll be taking some measurements, getting them set up, and yeah, here we go. Alrighty, we are back from Far Offroad. Got a couple things to finish up. I'm gonna call this like an outer shock rebuild. We're doing the springs, nice new Gforce springs, powder coated by Metal Offroad. Install help by Far Offroad, you guys saw in the last clip, because I'm still essentially one-armed. I have upgraded to basically lifting stuff the size of these snap ring pliers, so other than that, I'm still restricted, but doing as much as we can, one-armed. Huge shout out to Far Offroad. You got me a shirt. I got a whole swag pack. I got a shirt, koozies, stickers. Really appreciate that. The rest of this outer shock rebuild or shock refresh, whatever we're going to call it, we are going to update these shock bushings or shock bearings. These are the factory style. I would guarantee that these are the ones that came on the machine. As you can tell, this one is just absolutely toasted. It is in multiple pieces. It's rusty, it's crusty, it's broken. So we are replacing those. These uppers, I believe, have either been replaced or are a different style. So you can tell that one still needs fixed because that O-ring's blown. The rest of these that I've seen are fine. And we're gonna be doing the same thing over here. Get my shadow out of the way. Same thing over here on our rears. So the rears have that big style on the top. All mine look like they've been updated on the the uppers, and then the lowers still have the OEM style. So we're going to the CT Raceworks shock bearings or shock bushings on uppers and lowers. So I always like to either have someone to kind of help me go through some of this more complicated stuff that I've not done in the past, at least the very first time, which is one of the big reasons I reached out to Lou. At first, I reached out to Lou because I don't have the capacity to check or replace nitrogen in my shocks. But then after my collarbone injury, I reached out to him again and said, hey, I can't put these springs on myself. Would you help me? And without a doubt, he immediately said yes. Come on up. We'll take care of it. Which is, one reason I'm gonna push them, because he didn't have to do that and he did, and I really, really appreciate his time. But kind of what I was trying to get into is I like to have someone go through the more complicated stuff with me, but on stuff like this, I at least like to watch a video first. I found a really good video on changing these out. Guys doing the exact same thing I am. I will link that video down in the description. I really liked it. Gave me a cool trick on a bolt and a big washer, because I was just going to kind of bang these out. But that was super helpful. All right, me and my half a good arm here are going to try and dig this clip out of there. Still see. So we're trying to just dig up in this edge, get this clip out. I should have taken my own advice, just a brush. Get you guys up in here and kind of show you what I'm trying to do here. So we've got our C-ring here, which is just a circular, not really a snap ring, it's just a C-clip, and I'm trying to fit this behind there and pop it out, which is very hard to do. Very hard to do one-handed. Definitely hard to do one-handed holding the camera like this. So I moved it a little bit. I think we're just gonna have to work this thing back in here behind it like that, and then maybe with a combination of this and the screwdriver, just see, because if we can get this started where it's coming up here, then we can work it around, and then we can push it from the back side and bring this up. And then once this is out, we can mess with the other side, probably grab it with a set of pliers. But we need to get one of these sides out first. That way we got something to work with. Alrighty, here is what it looks like with the new Gforce springs on there. Got us a nice little purple accent color. I'm loving it. They look awesome. I still need to set the ride height and crossover and all that. But with Gforce, you have to have the springs installed and shocks reinstalled on the car before you set it. One thing I should mention, so I had this thing up on jack stands. I mean, you're gonna have all the pressure up off of the car if you've got the springs pulled, obviously. So when you let it back down, you got to roll that car out and roll it back in. Not a ton, just 3, 4, 5 feet back, roll it right back to where it was. Gets all the tires realigned, everything's going down straight, because you get so much suspension travel that when you go back down, your tires are all squished in, and you can't, the suspension isn't going to settle down to the proper point. So just roll it back a little bit. I mean, you can probably even do it by hand, but it's just quick and easy to go back and go back forward, and it's all good to go. I'm going to show you guys here what I'm doing with this measurement. So I've got this shock therapy limit strap brace on there, which sits flush with the top of the threads on the shock, which is where you're going to start your measurements from. Okay, here's our paper again. 3 1/4 preload on the front, 3-inch crossover. I gotta find where I set my tape measure down. Oh, it's up here. Ooh, look at that reach with the right arm. We're getting better. Okay, so from the top of that spring right there, we want that up quite a bit. Oh, and you know what? It's sitting on it. Yeah, okay. That makes a little bit of sense there. Okay. I'm gonna start adjusting this guy up. Basically, I'm not gonna bore you guys with spinning this preload ring or crossover ring a ton, just so you kind of get the idea. Just so you can see on the paper, we're doing on the preload, it's bottom of the collar, top of the spring, and oh, I am measuring it from the wrong spot. Okay, that makes a ton more sense. So we're kind of learning together. That's basically the theme of the whole channel, is we're learning together on a lot of things. But I was trying to figure out how putting it on the car would make a difference, because this preload is always in the same spot, but you're moving this. We are doing 3 inches from this crossover ring, so very top of the crossover ring here, which is this right here, to the bottom of that crossover ring. So this is your spring divider, crossover ring. You want 3 inches between this and this. Obviously it's sitting on it right now, so this has to go up quite a bit. So we're gonna compress the crap out of that guy, get him to move, and now let's double check our rears. So on our rears, yeah, same thing. Well, similar thing. So here's the top of our spring divider, and it actually says from here. So from the top of the spring divider, we need 4 inches to our crossover ring, which is the bottom of this guy right here. And we got maybe 1/2 inch. So that guy's got to go way up, and front has to go way, way up. here's what we've got going on here. On the rear, we got the crossover set, and we got everything set. The rear is sitting at 15.5 inches. That's right from the ground, straight to the bottom of the car, 15.5 inches. Overall, I am really happy with how this turned out. We gained a ton of ground clearance on the front. We lost a little bit on the back, which I think is kind of weird, but I think it looks sick, and I'm really happy with how the front turned out. Love the extra clearance. You know, sitting under here, definitely see all the way to the back. Don't mind my bowed up skid plate. That's one of the last things I gotta fix on this. But yeah, we're sitting really nice on the front. I fully expect that to droop back down a little bit. So like I said, I think when all's said and done, it's probably gonna sit at 16.5, 17. But I'd like the back to sit just a little bit higher also. So I think before my next ride, which is going to be the Can Am Crew subscriber ride, hope to see you guys out there. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. So this is your preload setting. Per the Gforce instructions, like we've been over, it wanted to be 7.5 inches from the top. I don't think that's enough, because installed, just sitting, you know, not on the car, you could take the springs off the retainer basically. And I think they should have a little bit more tension than that. I really don't want to get into a situation where this tire comes off the ground. Say I'm going over a ledge or dropping off of something, and this spring pops out of the retainer because there's not enough tension on it. I don't want to be in that situation. So I think I'm going to crank this down 1/2 inch and see what that looks like. See what that does to my ride height. I'd like to get the rear back to 16.5. So I'll try and get my extra inch out of that. Not sure if there's a conversion, 1/2 inch is an inch, or 2 inches of preload is an inch of ground clearance, or whatever that is. So we'll look at that. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're dealing with there on the car. All right, appreciate everybody that's watched this one. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. If you want to get yourself a badass set of Gforce springs, hit up Mud and Metal Offroad. They will be linked down in the comments. That's who I got these from. They did the springs, they did the powder coating. If you're in north central Indiana, anywhere near the Valpo area, hit up Far Off-Road. They're awesome. Lou is the best. Jeremy was up there, we hung out. If you're watching this, I'm sure you've seen Somewhat Haggard. Check their channel out. They get into some rowdy stuff. They just finished that 24 Hours of Appalachia. So they've got some awesome content out there. Really appreciate you guys. Remember, enjoy that journey. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.